All right, let's jump right in. Today's explainer is entirely focused on ACIM, Lesson 63. If you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by the chaos in the world, or honestly just the noise in your own head, you're going to want to hear this. We are going to explore the mechanics of how our own internal state directly impacts everyone around us and how you can bring profound peace to yourself and others. The core of Lesson 63 is this one incredibly powerful statement: the light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. I really want you to let that sink in for a second, right? It's not just some passive observation. It's a massive, bold declaration of your personal agency. The text is basically saying you aren't just a bystander in a chaotic world. Your act of forgiveness is literally the mechanism that delivers peace to every single mind. It's a huge concept, so let's unpack exactly what it means. Section 1. Decoding the message and finding those universal truths. Let's break down this beautifully dense text to uncover the message here because it applies to absolutely anyone seeking inner peace. The text starts off by asking a really striking question. What purpose could possibly bring you greater happiness than offering peace to every mind? Think about it. We spend so much time chasing happiness, through achievements, status, material things, the whole shebang. But the lesson asks us to consider a radical alternative. What if ultimate happiness isn't found in what we acquire, but in the peace we generate and project outward? It totally challenges the very foundation of where we look for fulfillment. Now, the source material does use some traditional religious terms, but we can easily translate those into universal concepts. For instance, the text warns that avoiding your function of forgiveness will leave the Son of God in hell. Sounds intense, right? But in practical, universal terms, this just means leaving humanity in mental suffering and conflict. When we hold on to grievances and refuse to forgive, we aren't just hurting ourselves or actively contributing to the collective psychological suffering, the hell of the human experience. Similarly, when the text asks you to accept salvation, it's actually a brilliant way of saying you need to find that ultimate inner peace within yourself first so you can actually share it with others. I mean, you can't pour from an empty cup. You literally cannot offer peace to the world if you haven't cultivated it in your own mind. It's not a selfish act to accept this peace. It's an absolute prerequisite to becoming a source of light for everyone else. So the crucial takeaway here is that we have to let go of our trivial purposes and meaningless desires. It is so easy to get wrapped up in daily drama. Someone said something annoying, you hit a traffic jam, just minor inconveniences. But when we obsess over these trivialities, we forget our primary function of offering forgiveness and peace. We end up trading profound, lasting happiness for fleeting frustrations. Actually, scratch that. It's more like we're choosing frustration over peace, which makes no sense when you think about it. Moving on to our next section, your daily practice guide, or the how-to blueprint. Now that we get the deep meaning, how do we actually apply this? Because philosophy is great, but without a method, it's just an idea. The text gives us an exact, actionable blueprint. It asks us to repeat this specific two-line mantra as often as possible today. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. I am the means God has appointed for the salvation of the world. By repeating this, you're actively reconditioning your mind. You're shifting your identity from someone who is at the mercy of the world to the very instrument through which the world finds peace. And the lesson lays out a super clear chronological structure for this. Acknowledge this truth first thing in the morning, repeat it as often as you can during the day, and let it be the very last thought you have before falling asleep. It's basically about bookending your day with intention. Start the morning with it to set a filter for how you perceive things, and close the evening with it so you release the day's tensions and drift off anchored in a peaceful purpose. For those daytime repetitions, the text suggests actually devoting 1 or 2 minutes with your eyes closed and just letting related peaceful thoughts surface naturally. So it's not just mindlessly parroting the phrase. It's a mini mindfulness break. You state the idea, close your eyes, and just observe what forgiving thoughts bubble up naturally. You're giving your mind space to fully align with the concept. But, and this is a big but, it strictly advises not to wait for the perfect quiet opportunity to close your eyes. We all have busy lives, right? If you wait for the ideal meditation room, it's just not going to happen. The text is telling you to use the imperfect moments. Standing in line at the grocery store, waiting for an elevator, sitting in rush hour traffic. Every single one of these moments is a chance to internally recite the lesson and recalibrate your mind. Now, here is the real kicker. There's this profound twist at the end of the text. It says, God's Son looks to you for salvation, and then asks, and who but yourself must be his son? The grand realization here is that the forgiveness you are offering to the world is ultimately exactly what saves you. The peace you grant to others is the very peace you experience. You and the world aren't separate. By healing your perception of others, you completely heal yourself. All right, wrapping things up with our final summary and your daily reminders. Let's make sure you have the key action items locked in for today's practice. We've covered a ton of philosophical ground, but the central anchor of Lesson 63 is this phrase. So let's reiterate it one last time. The light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness. Whenever you feel your peace slipping today or you feel a grievance forming, let this phrase be the circuit breaker that stops the negativity right in its tracks. So, to put this into action, remember your daily blueprint. Start the morning with the phrase, take those 1 to 2 minute mindful breaks. Use absolutely any spare moment you have, perfect or imperfect, and close out the evening with this same profound thought. It's a simple schedule, for sure, but practicing it consistently requires real dedication. The more you do it, the more natural this state of mind will become. Hey, if this explainer helped you grasp today's concepts more effectively, please take a quick second to like and subscribe. It really helps us keep bringing you these deep dives into such fascinating, perspective-shifting materials. Ultimately, if bringing peace to every single mind starts with your forgiveness, who are you going to forgive today to finally set yourself free from suffering? Remember, the peace you give is the peace you keep. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I look forward to exploring the next concept with you soon.